MyHomework.tv is a powerful online educational community for your school. Let's log in and see it in action. Let's go ahead and get started by adding a student into the school database. Click on Add Student and a form will appear. Fill it out with the student's name. You're going to find a quick way to go from key to key or box to box is by clicking the tab button. And we'll say he lives in any town, US. Alright, and as for home phone numbers, we're just to show you later on in the application how parents are closely related in the form, making it simple for teachers to fill out parents' information because most likely it's going to be the same. We'll go ahead and give him a username of John Anderson and a secret password and email at email.com. And title, we'll just call him a student for now. Okay, so I click on Go, and the students now, if we look at the top record, he is the first student in our database. This is the Manage Students screen. And what you're going to find is to modify a record, you can click on its individual number. So John A. Anderson, let's say he moved from apartment 2B to 3B. We can update it as so, and you'll notice that knowing that we have updated one record. By clicking on the Show button, you can see all the records in the database. Or you can say, show me 5 records in the database. Maybe you have a smaller browser. The nice thing about learning this interface is once you start working with this interface, a lot of the screens are going to be similar. So you'll notice we're at 1 of 5 pages with 5 records per page. I can use these VCR-like buttons to move to 2 of 5, 3 of 5, or either to the end or the beginning of the record sets. Or I could say, just take me to a specific page number. In this case, I'll say page number 5 of 5. Now, let's go into the search, because also another fast way of finding students is by typing a letter and clicking on Go. Now we get all the students that have the last name beginning with F. I can filter it out even further by typing FR. And I'll get a record set of just the students with FR. Or I can go to a specific student by last name. So once again, once you learn this screen, basically getting around is going to be pretty simple. If you want to track parents, which is optional in the application, maybe colleges don't want to track parents because it's not important. But in case you do, you can click on the Parents button and notice how the form gets halfway filled out for you, because most likely if you're going to be tracking parents, they're going to be living in the same house. So go ahead and give him a username. And an email address. I'll put a fictitious one here for now. And let's say he's a PTA member. And by clicking Go, we have added the first parent for John Anderson. We can verify that by clicking Manage Students. And under John Anderson, clicking the Parent button brings up his father. Insert another parent. And this time, Bob's father got remarried to Dorothy Martin. Okay. What you're going to find is that you don't have to have the same last name to track parents. And the application is smart enough to know that you're already working with John Anderson. And let's go ahead. But one thing to make sure, if we didn't change this, then it's going to overwrite the father. So we got to make sure that we select Mrs. and female. And now when we click go, you'll notice that Dorothy Martin and Bob Anderson are the parents for John Anderson. And we can verify that by clicking on Manage Students, and under Anderson, click on the parent, and we get back to the records we had already populated. Now let's go ahead and click on the Manage button for the parents. And you're going to notice it only pulled up Bob Anderson. That's because there's no way of the database to really know who the student's parents is unless it has its last name. So it's basically going to pull up, to make things simple, all the parents with the same last name. So let's look for Martin. And we can go by typing in Martin and clicking on the Go button. And you'll see Dorothy Martin now is our record. By selecting Dorothy, I can click on Disassociate. And now you can see that Bob Anderson is the only parent for John Anderson. Now you can go back and manage, and basically what you're looking at here is, well, it's saying, well, basically you're looking for another parent, and if it's not by the same last name, which you would have inserted, then you're looking for one of the parents that's already in the school. And you can once again type in the last name, click go, and you'll get just that parents. By clicking the all parents, you can see all the parents again. And by clicking on select and associating, we once again have Bob Anderson and Dorothy Martin as the parents for John Anderson. Now, if you want to verify it, you can click on Manage Students, and under John Anderson, click on his parent button. Creating courses is very simple. Just go to Create Course, click on it, Create Course form appears, name the course that you want, give it a description, Introduction to Algebra. You can have a start date. Let's say it starts 2001, and it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning and will end, say, in June. And let's say it goes to 11:30. You can put a location, room 243, insert, and you'll see at the top we have algebra room 243. Managing courses is pretty simple. Let's go to Manage, and for algebra, let's modify command. And basically we only have two options: to either delete the course in its entirety. In that case, you would have to have no students enrolled and no homework assignments created under this course. or else you'll get an error message. Maybe we want to change it to room 244 instead. You'll see that our record has been updated. It's now in room 244. Now, when you create a course, you're going to want to create marking categories for it. So let's go to our new course, Algebra, and let's decide maybe a test is worth 50% of your grade. Maybe a quiz is worth 30% of the grade. And homework is worth 20% of the grade. And notice down at the bottom, the total here is updated. So now we have 100% of the grade. Now, if you haven't marked anybody in the category yet, you can modify it at this time. Is the best time to modify it. Maybe homework really should only be 15% of your grade. And the teacher wants to put in participation at 5% grade. Enrolling students into the course that you've created is very simple. You have a drop-down menu over here with all the courses that you own as a teacher. And basically, just as in the Manage Students, you have the same show, records per page, the VCR like buttons, page number, and search options that you can go through. So I can decide how many records I want to see. But for now, let's just go ahead and let's say 3 students for now. You'll notice up here at the top, Manage and it says now Students Enrolled. And this is the course. Depending on which course that I select is going to show me the students for that course. So here I can look at my students enrolled in Algebra 3. Let's go back to Algebra 1. And to remove a student is as simple as checking that and then clicking on Remove. Now you see the students enrolled. Creating and managing homework assignments is pretty easy. Basically, when you click on the Manage Assignment button, what you're going to see is the number of homeworks that you have, what the instructions were, whether it's live for other people to see on the website. By clicking false, when they log in, they will not see this homework assignment. And if there are any file attachments, right here we have a Word doc attached here. It tells you the name of the file. Now down here also you have your courses. You can look at all your courses at once or individual courses that you own. So let's see what's under Algebra. Under Algebra we just have no homework tonight. So let's go ahead and create a homework assignment for Algebra. I click on the Create Assignment. I'm going to make this live, and then what I'm going to do is type in watch this presentation. And by clicking the Browse button, I'm going to go ahead and find Lesson 4, SWF. I'm going to create it, and basically I'm going to send up a flash file as part of a homework assignment, but it could be basically just about any type of assignment. Now you also have a search facility too. I can type in Prez and click on Go, and you notice the word presentation is in the homework assignment. I want to see which ones have the word homework with the word home in it, go, you'll see that also. So basically, that's all you really need to know to create and send up files. Now let's go ahead and click on the Show button again to see all the records for all courses. And by clicking on Lesson 4, which is a flash file, you can see that it plays right inside the browser, if the browser supports it. If not, the student will be prompted to download it once again. For example, clicking on the Manage Assignments will bring us back. You also have the option of using the right mouse button to click and save target as. You want to save it down to your hard drive. And that concludes managing assignments. Let's go ahead and mark some grades. We'll start by clicking on the Marks Grade button, and we can select which course. Let's go with our example, algebra. Now, basically, what we're going to do is we're going to give 100 out to everyone on the quiz for the day. I click grade, and we're going to go back and let's add, after a quiz, I don't know, maybe the following day there was a homework assignment. Maybe it was a project or something. Let's give out some different grades here. Let's leave one blank. Grade. And voila, shows me all the people who have been graded. Now let's click on the All Grades button. This is going to give us more or less a teacher's gradebook view, showing the grades in a date order. And you could see that was the last grade for Algebra 3. But if I go to my algebra class, you can see we only is in a homework. And you'll notice that one student hasn't been graded, Zoe Finnegan. So I can click on that button, and now it finds all the Finnegans, and let me give her a grade. Or what we could do, if we didn't want to mark a grade, we can also delete a grade by clicking on that individual grade, and we can either type in a new grade and modify it, or delete a grade. And you'll see when we delete a grade, it back to -1, meaning that the person hasn't been marked yet. Averages are done for you. By clicking on the Averages button, you have a drop-down list of individual courses that a teacher owns, and every time you switch it, you have your enrolled students here. So by clicking on any one of them, you'll get a quick detailed report of how he's doing on his homeworks, quizzes, whatever you've decided your marking criteria is. Now, attendance can be taken pretty quickly. So once again, when you click on your attendance button, you can just course. We're going to take our students just so there's less clutter on the screen right now for, and then basically you have A for absent, L for late, C for, and by default most students are present. That's why they're marked P as present. So you have your legend down here, and you have your date. It's a question of marking them, and you'll notice that if I click on any one of them, I can change their status. Maybe she just came in late after attendance. Quickly modify it. adding events into the calendar is a breeze. Basically, all you have to do is click on the Manage Events, and you pick your date, and just type in your message. Now this calendar works in real time, so as soon as you add this entry in, any of the parents or students that log in after that point can see it. By clicking on it, you remove it off the calendar. Now we're going to go check out the school chat room. So we click on school chat, and basically what you're going to see is right now I am logged in as Abraham Johnson, and maybe being that I'm a math teacher, I'm going to go monitor math chat room. So I check off math and I join the chat room. I'll be online for the next half hour. Any questions? Now, being that I only have one browser, I'm going to go back to the home page and log in as John Anderson. And basically, I will join the same math chat. Join the chat now. And we'll say hello.